from Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 10.
We begin tonight with a severe weather alert. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. Good to have you with us. I'm Rod Fowler. Storms hitting parts of western Nebraska right now. In fact, it's getting a little serious in some areas. Let's give you a live look from our network of cameras here in the Lincoln area. It's quiet now, but that could change overnight. Let's get you up to speed with what to possibly expect. Here's Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Interesting phenomenon going on in western Nebraska right now. Two different lines of storms are colliding right now and spinning up a tornado warning. So let's take a quick look at this. You can see what's going on. You got one line coming from the southwest and one line coming from the northwest, and they're hitting right there just east of Scottsbluff. So I'll zoom in here and you can see that tornado warning right there. It does include the town of Hyannis, just north of Arthur, just west of Mullen, but that storm from the northwest and that storm from the southwest colliding and creating some rotation. So an interesting weather phenomenon going on. Hopefully a tornado does not actually happen. So that severe thunderstorm watch through 9 p.m. has been allowed to expire. And then this is the rest of the severe thunderstorm watch through 3 o'clock in the morning. So we got about 5 hours left on that one. So here's a bigger, wider look. You can see the severe thunderstorm watch box and a very large area of a severe thunderstorm warning, and then that tornado warning right there in Grant County is moving north and east. Now that severe thunderstorm watch does go until 3 o'clock in the morning. First day of school tomorrow. 72, 77, eventually into the upper 80s with partly cloudy skies, but there are more storm chances out there as we head through the overnight. That forecast coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Rusty. If storms rumble through your area later tonight and you're in a safe area, share your videos with us on the Now Local News app. We'll pay you to do so. Use the QR code there on your screen to download the app if you haven't done so already, and share your experiences with our viewers, and some of your videos may actually make it on our newscast. Only on 8, late breaking developments now in the push for more police officers here in Lincoln. The former head of the Nebraska State Patrol has been leading a grassroots effort. They want to see Lincoln police add more officers. But as Danielle Da Silva tells us, late today, that effort was put on hold.
When I first reached out on this story, my intention was to understand both perspectives. But upon meeting former NSP Superintendent Tom Nesbitt, he handed me this document, fresh off the printer, containing the breaking news that they were pausing their months-long efforts to increase the force. Disappointed but not deterred, Nesbitt explained the reasons for the halt and what's ahead. Tom Nesbitt spent over 20 years leading the Nebraska State Patrol and says he understands the difficulties that come along with budgeting for additional staff, but says in some cases, staffing should take priority, drawing from an FBI standard of having 2 officers for every 1,000 residents. His goal is to have 1.5 LPD officers for every 1,000. Right now, it's about 1.2.
In a growing capital city of almost 300,000 residents, cannot indefinitely operate with the police staffing that we have. Resources available to them will only become more difficult and more expensive as well to correct.
So Nesbitt and his group began collecting signatures, hoping to get this measure on the November ballot to increase the total officers to 450. The current authorized strength, determined by the mayor and city council, sits at 371, an amount the mayor's chief of staff, Rick Hoppy, says is enough, evidenced by Lincoln's low crime rates, which is at a 20-year low for the 3rd year in a row.
We don't think the ratio of police officers to population is the right metric. We really strongly believe it is the crime rate. We try to look at that crime rate. We try to look at what we can afford without raising taxes.
Hoppy says even if the measure made it to the ballot and was approved by voters, 450 officers is too expensive.
It's about $13 million to add 80 police officers. That is a 12% increase in property taxes.
Nesbitt says the decision is disheartening and discouraging, which ultimately led to the pause on the initiative for now.
I'm a citizen. That's all I am. I'm not a cop anymore, but I still have the public servant's heart, and I want to take care of the people of this great city of ours.
The group says they're proud of having starting the conversation around increasing LPD's authorized strength and will eventually revisit the initiative once the dust settles. Reporting in Lincoln, Danielle De Silva, Channel 8 News.
Well, summer break's over, my friends. The lines of cars to pick up kids from their first day of school got a little hectic this afternoon. Check out this line that goes on for blocks. Citizen journalist Bryce sending this video into our Now Local News app. We asked our citizen journalists how they prepare for these long lines, especially during the first few weeks or so of school starting. Here's what you had to say.
After school pickup is madness, absolute chaos, in my opinion. I have always done my best to park as far away from those long lines as possible because my kids can walk to the car.
I like that strategy. Make the kids walk to you. Not a bad way to go about it from our citizen journalists when the lines are looking like this. Well, superintendents in our area are looking to how to manage the usage of AI for their students. We sat down with 3 of them to learn how they are going to tackle this issue. Tune in to our 6 o'clock morning show tomorrow to find out what they have planned to make sure their students have a healthy relationship with AI. And throughout the school year, we are here to keep you informed. Wake up with our morning shows. Our meteorologists tell you what to expect with the weather. You can scan the QR code there and download the Now Local News app so you can be informed once you get to work. And when you get home, we will be here bringing you the very biggest stories of the day in our evening newscast. All right, new at 10. More and more people here in Lincoln are having money problems, and some of them are turning to a local outreach center for support. Our Nick Erickson reports from a place here in Lincoln that's been serving the community now for more than 30 years.
I'm in the pantry at the Matt Talbot's Kitchen and Outreach Center, and there has been a huge increase in the amount of visitors who have been visiting the pantry for groceries. But the question is, what has been causing the uptick? Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach Center serves as an outlet of support for people across Lincoln. Guests are able to stock up on groceries such as canned goods, cereals, protein, and vegetables, or can stop in for a hot meal twice a day, 7 days a week. Victoria O'Neill, the director of hunger relief and volunteers at Matt Talbot, says there's been plenty of new faces in the outreach center this year.
From January till July of this year, we have seen a 96% increase in individuals coming into our choice pantry. And then we saw a really big increase between the months of June to July. We've seen a 52% increase. So this summer's been really busy for us.
O'Neill noted there's just about 200 people each meal, but why so many new faces?
The way that the economy is right now, go to the gas pump, look at the gas prices, the cost of food. Unfortunately, we're seeing cuts with SNAP benefits, things like that. So families are being hit really hard right now, and this is the way that they're making ends meet.
Since January, thousands of people have visited the pantry. O'Neill says in just a 2-hour span, 55 bags of groceries have been dispersed to people in need. In July alone, over 500 bags.
And it used to be that the beginning of the month, you didn't see as many people because people maybe received like their Social Security benefits or their SNAP benefits. But that's not the way that's not the case anymore.
As grocery prices continue to rise nationwide, so does the amount of visitors who are coming to these outreach centers. And although they've had one of the biggest increases over the past couple months, the work of Matt Talbot's Kitchen and Outreach Center is never done as they continue to serve people across the Lincoln community. Reporting from Matt Talbot's Kitchen and Outreach Center, I'm Nick Erickson, Channel 8 News.
They do a great job there. Thank you, Nick. Right now, a conference-wide blood battle is being renewed. We're talking about the We Give Blood Drive run by an organization called Abbott, where Big Ten schools compete to see who can collect the most donations. Nebraska won, you might remember, back in 2024, but narrowly lost to Wisconsin in 25. This year, of course, the goal is take the title back and win the $1 million prize that comes with it. Whether you're a student, alum, or fan, you can donate anywhere in the country at any blood bank or drive and attribute your donation to the school of your choosing.
The competition, but also the compassion. I mean, people in Nebraska really care about each other, and I think that heart, both years of competition so far, has really showed up, and it's been cool to see.
The blood drive goes through December 4th. We'll let you know how the scoreboard is shaping up when they start posting the results. Go Nebraska. And coming up, getting answers from some of our congressional leaders who made a stop in Ashland today. Also, the University of Nebraska Board of Regents meeting tomorrow, facing $29 million in sudden budget cuts. Regents will be talking about eliminating more programs that involve bachelor and master's degrees. Wake up with Andrew Ward tomorrow at 5 a.m. as he goes deeper into what might happen.
Strong storms ongoing in western Nebraska this evening. Those will eventually move east overnight. We'll time it out when we come back.
Right now, Nebraska's congressional delegation taking policy and answering some burning questions. The Chamber of Commerce hosting its annual federal legislative summit today. Congressman Mike Flood, Adrian Smith, and Senator Pete Ricketts all taking the stage to talk about some of their policies. We wanted to take the opportunity to ask some critical questions, so Channel 8's Emma Norwood spoke with the delegation today.
Nebraska's delegation taking to Ashland on Wednesday to talk about some of the issues they're hearing most about from Nebraskans. But instead of sticking to the usual talking points, I asked Congressman Flood, Congressman Smith, and Senator Pete Ricketts a few questions designed to get right to the point. With the National Democratic Party pouring some money into backing Democratic candidates here in Nebraska, we wanted to know how Representative Flood feels about the upcoming election.
I think there's a lot of excitement on the left. They're trying to deflect the conversation from these socialists that want to shut down prisons, get rid of the Thanksgiving holiday, control the means of production, and do these grocery stores. Ultimately, all of the major outlets that predict election outcomes say this is solidly Republican and I'm going to win regardless. I've won by 16 and 20 points in the past.
Recently, the Nebraska Republican Party issued a lawsuit to block the America First Party, which previously got the approval to be on November's ballot from Secretary of State Bob Evnen. Senator Pete Ricketts responding to how he feels about the new party.
I will let the Nebraska Republican Party handle that. Obviously, if the America First Party has a Democrat who used to work on Dan Osborne's campaign as its chief legal counsel, I think you can see it's probably a fake party.
A new farm bill is also on hold. It hasn't been updated in 8 years as both sides can't agree on cuts to SNAP benefits. Congressman Adrian Smith detailing why getting it done is so important for Nebraskans, especially right now.
I'm strategizing in my mind what we need to do to ultimately get this done. A 5-year farm bill is important. Here we are with a significant drought in western Nebraska. And then the fires that impact the livestock production. We already have a 75-year low inventory on the number of cattle across America.
We reached out to the Nebraska Democratic Party for a response to each of the senator and representatives' answers. They say in part, quote, Nebraska Republicans take Nebraska voters for granted. And when Republicans are removed from power, the average working family, farmer, and senior does better. Reporting in Ashland, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
There is a lot going on in western parts of the state. Now this pink box here, that's for severe thunderstorm watch. It goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. Severe thunderstorm warning here because this line is moving south and east and this line is moving north and east. And where they're meeting is a tornado warning. Just crazy weather going on out there lately. So there's a severe thunderstorm watch through 3 o'clock in the morning, early tomorrow morning. More on that in a second. First, it's quiet in for the eastern, well, central and eastern portion of the state. 27th Yankee Hill Road, Honda of Lincoln Camp, 79 degrees, clear skies. Feels like 82 with the dew point that's still a little high. But look at the cooler air coming in behind that storm system. 60s finally in parts of the Panhandle, 70s for everybody else. We're really close to 80 in Lincoln, Beatrice, Hebron. It's 83 in Omaha, 77 in Wahoo, York, Aurora, and Grand Island. So yeah, it's still warm out there and it's still muggy. It's just gross to be outside. Dew point temperatures in the upper 70s in some spots. So still a heat index as of 10:16. Now again, not much going on. Cloud cover increasing a little bit, a little false return. That might be a sprinkle trying to get to the ground, but this looks like they canceled the tornado warning, so that's a little bit of good news. Bad news is I had a graphic ready for it, so we'll see what that looks like here in just a second. But this storm's coming from here, this storm's coming from here. It's all meeting in the middle between Mullen, Ashby, and Arthur. And if you've been to this area, you know there's not a whole lot out there. But yeah, see, okay, so it's a severe thunderstorm warning. It's not picking up the tornado warning anymore. It's picking up the severe thunderstorm warning for Arthur, Cherry, Grant, and Hooker County until 9:30 local time. So there's all of the activity. Now, the brunt of this is all going to try to move this way across the northern half of the state. But this down here, a little sneaky line between North Platte and McCook, that may be that southern part of it. So we have kind of two areas here to watch. The northern half is that strong storm off to the north, and then that weaker storm from North Platte to McCook may go all the way between Grand Island, Lincoln, and Omaha eventually. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center pushed this down just a little bit further south. Lincoln wasn't in the yellow. Now it is, just enough. So how's this going to play out? Well, there's everything through 11 p.m. Notice it's rolling through North Platte, headed this way. Now, this particular model keeps everything north of Interstate 80, but it wouldn't surprise me to see just a little sag here on the other side of the interstate. We'll keep an eye on that. Some storms in front of it by about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, really rolling through north central and northeast Nebraska. Again, it's really close to Lincoln, Omaha, Grand Island, Columbus. It's close enough that you just want to have a way to be alerted. These overnight storms are awful. It's because we're all sleeping, and if we get woken up by the storms, it's like, what's going on? What's happening? Where should we go? What should we do? Have a plan, know what to do, have a way to be alerted should your town, your area get into a severe thunderstorm warning. Some of these winds could be gusting towards 70 to 75, maybe even 80 miles per hour. Lots of rain too. Look at that from Lincoln, Grand Island, North Platte, north. That's 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of rainfall in some spots. And then Thursday, we do this all over again. The southern half of the state has a marginal risk, but these storms are kind of discombobulated. They're just over here and over here. So we could see 1 or 2 strong storms, but it doesn't look very organized yet. We'll know more after what's happening now, what this will do. So we'll fine tune this as we get past the storms tonight and into the day tomorrow. Temperatures tonight in the upper 60s and lower 70s. High temperatures tomorrow in the upper 80s. And a lot of 80s in the forecast. In fact, we may not even make it into the 80s as we get towards Monday of next week. Lots and lots of chances for storms over the next several days. Weather trivia time. What is the approximate I don't think I said that right. What is approximately equal to hail 2.5 inches in diameter? The golf ball, the tennis ball, the baseball, or the softball?
Let me use my fingers here. There's an inch.
2.5
There's
inches.
2. There's a. I'm going to say that's a little. I'm going to say between tennis and golf. I'll say tennis ball. What do you think, Will?
Ooh, tennis balls.
You saw my measurements there.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Rod. I like it.
Yep.
I like it.
It's
yeah.
the tennis ball because the
good measurements.
The softball is 4 inches, so those things are huge.
Rod's out here just kind of going, listen, there's an inch.
He was doing a whole little measurement with his hands there.
You know, very,
I'll figure it out.
Very elementary, yeah. It's time now for the Sports Zone. Will, how are those football practices going?
I'll tell you what, I made it out to 2 today, Rod. They were a lot of fun, but whew, it was hot outside, as Rusty was saying. But coming up in Sports Zone, we'll have our first preseason report featuring Lincoln Southeast and more.
Now, from the Channel 8 Sports Zone, powered by Green's Furnace and Plumbing, here's Channel 8 News Sports. The Channel 8 News Sports Zone.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome into your Wednesday night Sports Zone. I'm Will Charlton. Fall practices are underway for high schools around Nebraska, and that, of course, means that football is right around the corner. We begin our preseason coverage with the Lincoln Southeast Knights. And earlier today, I talked with quarterback Gavin Sem and head coach Ryan Gatula about the season ahead and what people can expect to see out of them on the field in 2026.
5-5 last year. What's kind of the mentality that you're coming into the season with?
Yeah, we want to obviously get better than last year. We want to win some of those even matchups, then boost our playoff seeding.
And what do you like most about this squad you have out here right now?
I like the diversity we have, especially like on offense. We got some key pieces. We got some speedy receivers, bigger bodies too. And, defensively, I feel like we have some really good players. I mean, we got some young guys that are going to step up, and I feel really confident in what they can do.
And what can fans of Southeast High School expect to see on the field this season?
I feel like they can be ready to see some explosive plays, some big plays, and overcoming adversity as well.
5-5 record last year, falling into the first round of the playoffs. What's kind of the mentality this team's coming into 2026 with?
Yeah, well, they're certainly not satisfied with that. Did some good things last year, but obviously some things we want to get better at as well. Got some guys with experience, defensively on all 3 levels, and so we feel good about that. And a quarterback, starting quarterback that's returning, so that's always a good place to start on offense.
What are the overall team goals this season?
We always try to keep our goals pretty short term. So right now it's week 1. We want to get better every day. Week 1 is just about us getting better and focusing on us. We want to prepare week to week and be 1-0 every week.
Tomorrow, to continue our high school football preseason coverage, we'll hear from the Thunderbolts of Pius X, the 10th Catholic, and how a new head coach is bringing a different energy to practice. On Tuesday, Nebraska football held a second media availability of fall camp. We've already heard from new defensive coordinator Rob Orich, safety coach Tyler Yelk, and returning linebacker Vincent Shavers Jr. Now we'll check in with a couple of transfers who come into the program this year. One of which is defensive back Dwayne McDougal III, who followed Orich to Lincoln from San Diego State. On top of that, McDougal was with Orich at Idaho as well. It's safe to say they know each other pretty well. And McDougal compared how Orich is now as a defensive coordinator to how he used to be.
He's better, to be honest. That's my opinion. I think he's better. We're in a Big Ten, so he had to adjust some stuff from being in the Mountain West. When we was at Idaho, nobody believed we was going to be a top defense and this and that. No one thought San Diego was going to be a top defense, but every year he proved everybody wrong.
Another player new to Nebraska is linebacker Dexter Foster. He transfers in from Oregon State and said coming to the Huskers in the portal was a no-brainer. He went on to say everything about this defense thrills him to be here.
We violent, we physical. I could count on the guy next to me, I could count on the guy behind me, I could count on the guy in front of me to do their job. I'm just excited to see what we can do this season. And I feel like me coming here, I was going to be able to develop as a player and as a leader too.
Nebraska football speaks again on Friday, and we'll have more at the Huskers then. Nebraska soccer's new season is officially underway as the Huskers hit the road to face off against Louisville tonight. And Big Red starts the season in the win column, taking down the Cardinals 3-1. Nebraska led 2-0 at the half and completely controlled this one. Scoring the 3 goals for the Huskers were Natalie Lewis, Ella Rudney, and Ava Makovica. The Huskers are next in action Sunday afternoon at 1:05 p.m. in their home opener against South Dakota. And don't forget, all of the Kansas City Chiefs NFL preseason games will be right here on Channel 8. Their first matchup against the Los Angeles Rams. It starts at 3 o'clock our time this Saturday. You won't have to touch your remote to catch the beginning of the Chiefs NFL season. Talking about earlier, it's a lot of fun to be seeing these high schools back on the practice field, and before you know it, the Huskers will be taking the field at Memorial Stadium for the first time too. Fun time of year. Let's get it back to you.
Can't wait. All right, thank you, Will. Final check of the forecast next.
Severe thunderstorm watch continues until 3 a.m. for all of those counties. Would not surprise me if we see more counties added to the severe thunderstorm watch as these storms move downstream. Eastern Nebraska will likely see something eventually, but that line is moving from just west of McCook up through North Platte, and then the strongest part of that storm up towards Cherry County. One teeny tiny tornado warning in southern Cherry County, but everything is moving from west to east and will eventually make its way into central and then eastern Nebraska overnight into very early tomorrow morning. Here's a look at that too. This is right there is about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and then everything kind of moves on out as we head towards 5 or 6 in the morning, and then that should be just about it, and we're left with partly cloudy skies and a very warm start to the day, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. So we'll start off in the 60s and 70s and end up in the 70s and 80s to around 90 degrees. So it is another warm day tomorrow, but watch out for those storms. They might wake you up tonight.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you for joining us. Andrew in Houston will be here bright and early at 5 o'clock. Jimmy Kimmel is coming up next. Have a great night.
The Jalapeno Popper Frenchie, creamy and crunchy in each delicious bite. Enjoy this bold new taste or the timeless original. Frenchies at Amigo's King's Classic.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join.
Get an 11